Hello and welcome back to SRB Gaming. This is episode 6 of KSP Exploration Series. A series where I do sandbox playing in stock KSP 1.0 and do semi-realistic progression, so think career mode without career mode. And today, back to Minmus again. This has been pretty much a base of operations recently. And I am sending the second MinSat-2, as well as a surface rover called Vision. MinSat-2 contains a narrowband scanner which will allow more detailed observation of the surface for resource nodes because Frontier Ground, the colony, was relocated, although it also did not find good resources even in the mountains, so it could be an issue with the drill, but we're going to use MinSat-2 to find a better location. MinSat-1, if you remember, used a larger scanner to give us an overlay on the whole moon, but MinSat-2, the narrowband, will help. Now, in order to use the narrowband scanner, you have to have something on the surface. Now, I could have just sent a lander, but I figured it would be better to have a rover down there, so I sent an unmanned rover, Vision rover. It's very small, probably the smallest one you could make. Lots of solar panels on the back, some batteries, of course. Communication device, a surface resource scanner, which is what you need to track with the narrowband scanner in orbit, and obviously wheels. So what you'll see is a fairly standard heavy launcher with a Rhino engine on the bottom. This detaches. Orbit is circularized with Mammoth engine's on the bottom. Orbit is circularized with the Rhino engine. The Rhino engine then brings the craft to Minmus and circularizes at Minmus. The inclination was actually this was the first time that my inclination was way off from the Frontier station. However, this is good because this mission doesn't need to go anywhere near the station. Good news, I actually attached a docking adapter to the station which allows me to reuse MSL landing craft, so I'll be able to actually dock those in the future. That'll be in a future video. I just wanted to point that out because I did do that. This video is just the rover and the satellite. So, after circularizing in Minmus orbit, the Rhino booster second stage will detach. This will reveal MinSat-2 connected to a assembly which contains a Vision rover. MinSat-2 deploys in orbit, one solar panel, some batteries, and the narrowband scanner. Now, there was a technical issue with the Vision rover, and it almost failed. It caused the mission to fail. I attached an SAS unit to the rover so that it could right itself after the landing, as well as use control for the entire landing vehicle. However, for some reason it didn't attach, and I didn't notice, so once it launched, there was no SAS on the upper stage. So after detaching MinSat-2, I had no stability assist. What I did have was we're using an efficient Poodle engine to land on the landing vehicle. I did have a gimbal on that. So I was only able to turn while burning the engine, and it made it quite a challenge, but I was able to land, and it kind of interesting design. I was using a small fairing. Even though there's no atmosphere, I wanted to be able to protect the rover in case the thing tumbled, because the rover is rather fragile. So the fairing was decoupled as soon as we got close enough to the surface that the rover would no longer explode if it landed. And then I detached the rover, and with no SAS, I was really just gambling that it would land upright, and I was trying to use the brakes to help that. And after spinning 5, 6, 7 times, I finally was able to was lucky enough to have the rover land on its wheels. And very content, the mission was a success. And I decided to, since I had landed about 10 kilometers from Frontier Ground base, and I was on a slope which would cause the rover to roll when I wasn't holding the brakes, I decided to send the rover up towards Frontier Ground in the general direction, hoping to get to the top of the slopes at least. And I was able to progress, unlike the Progress spacecraft, which is due to burn up in 3 to 5 days. Sorry for the pun. Okay, I couldn't resist. Anyway, yeah, I was able to get the Vision rover to the top of the cliffs, and that's good. The landing vehicle crashed near a boulder, and it was rolling around. You might be able to spot it in the video if you look. The rover also has a light, just to see. It's not actually going to be of any use at the base, but I will send it in the general direction of the base so that we can check up on it. And I'm probably going to add Kerbal and inventory system, which I talked about earlier, in 4 to 5 episodes. It seems very useful. So after the rover landed, I did deploy the surface scanner, which then allowed me to use the narrowband. You'll see the narrowband at the very end, using the scanner to show the surface, and it allows you to see of only the Midlands biome, because that's the only one the rovers visited. I might have to send it down into the basins later, the flats, or maybe I'll have it visit the Osprey mining probe, but that's kind of a long journey. Anyway, it allows me to see concentrations of the area that the MinSat-2 is orbiting directly over. So it's kind of difficult because you have to be over the spot you want, but at the same time it means that you can get very detailed estimates of the ore in the area. So that should help with resource gaining. We have mined a little bit in the base, but it's not much, and either the drills are malfunctioning due to the update, or we're in another bad spot. I did move Frontier Base to the mountains, out of the flats. I'll sum up the episode. I'll finish up the episode with what you can expect in the future. Launching the GS-SAT, which is a Gilly surface scanning satellite. It has a narrowband scanner. Will be sent to Gilly on the next Eve transfer window. Now, again, since it's a narrowband, it won't be able to use until we send a lander, but that will be also happening in the future, probably launching before the window, so we can send both of them at the same time. A CTV-4 with an attached heat shield in the front completed a Duna flyby recently, which will probably be in a video. Not the main part, but part of it. These were the first ship at all to fly to another system, and went well. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed, comment if you have any comments, and thanks for watching. See you next time.